Come on, girls. Hey, girls. Come on, girls. Come on, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. Right here, girls. Hey, hey, hey. There's always one. Come on, mama. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Come on, come on. Hey. Come on. Go. Goodness gracious. Morning, everybody. We got an audience this morning. There's been a little trash talking going on. That's the neighbor's herd. I'm in the, well, we'll call it the west pasture of this 16-acre lease. Pasture, it's really just a paddock. It's basically to that tree line. Flips around to this fence line here, so it's a pretty small area, but we're strip grazing. We're marching our way through. And the neighbor who borders one side of this lease property, he's got quite the operation. Big row crop, decent amount of cattle. See, he's got calves already. Actually stopped and talked to him the other day. Hadn't met him before just because his ranch is so large, his farming operation is so large that he's usually pretty far away, but he just happened to be working on his corner braces the other day when I was setting this up. So stopped and talked to him. Real nice guy. He's got a good looking herd. Angus, like most of the guys in our area. Angus, pretty conventional cattle operation. One thing I am worried about with these girls. So, you know, on the home ranch, there's a herd of cows close by, but they're through the woods and across the creek. So if they do see them, it's only certain times of the year when the trees are thinned out, and they're never very close. I'm pretty sure his herd is going to be there for a bit, right up there in the corner where they're all standing. Eventually, my herd will get to, just for a day. Obviously, they'll have that access just for a day, but the cows my herd has just never really seen other cows as far as the girls that were born on this property. The 3 original cows obviously came from established herds, but everything that's been born out here since, all they know is their small little herds. So I'll be curious to see what happens if that herd's still up there when we get to that corner, kind of what they got going on. And like I said, he's a pretty conventional dude. And so I would imagine he'll be turning his bulls out into his cow herd probably pretty quickly here. You know, if he wants them dropping in February and March, it's gonna be happening soon. So I obviously hope to be through this pasture and then into the east pasture, which is a lot more secure with fence, barbed wire, field fence, 5-strand, and just separated a little bit. I hope I'm there before he turns his bulls out, just because I obviously always have a good amount of females that are in heat. Man, look at that. She's eating, what is that plant? I'm gonna have to look that one up. I can't remember what it was. I looked it up yesterday. Oh, mama. That's actually what I wanted to talk about. Look at her go for that flowering plant. That's awesome. How you doing? No babies yet? No babies yet? All right, you need to keep eating. So what I want to talk about is this particular area. So this whole property that I lease usually never gets grazed until, oh, he's got some of that sticky weed on him. This property usually never gets grazed until midsummer. It's a great naturescape. I mean, it's full of wildflowers. Insect life is crazy, but just the grazing is not very good. A lot of the stuff on this whole 16 acres, but particularly this back section, just turns into a jungle of habitat, birds, bees, pollinators, deer, all that. It's great for them, but it's just not great for grazing. And because I switched up my rotations this year, they're obviously here earlier in spring when this stuff is a lot more vegetative and obviously a lot more palatable to them. There's this weed in here that number 3's eating right now. You can kind of see her going for it. It's this stuff right here. It's called, sticky weed. Some people call it bed straw. It's that stuff that was just sticking to that red steer there. When it matures especially, it'll rip right out of the ground and stick to your boots, stick to your pants. Coarse weed, I think, is another name for it. You couldn't walk through the herd without coming out and having it all over you. It actually produces, you can break it open and the juice basically inside can actually be like a less caffeinated version of coffee, I was reading, which is crazy. But I really didn't think the cows were gonna go for it. There's a lot of that in this pasture, and I was just kind of judging them based off of their grass consumption, judging this pasture based off of what I thought the grass consumption would be. And I was very pleasantly surprised when I turned them out and saw them really going after that sticky weed, that bed straw. And now even seeing them go after these guys, whatever the heck this is. They obviously just take the tops. But yeah, look, he's got a mouthful. Good job, buddy. So it's always nice to see the cows eating everything, things other than just grass and legumes. I mean, for starters, it helps me out. No, buddy, you're not going up there. I know you think you're a bull. But it is just, it's great to see that they're obviously getting what they need. There's some sort of nutritional value that they're getting out of it. They want it. And it just prolongs my feed availability. I'm almost a little worried that when these girls finish up this paddock and they get bored, if that herd up on the hill is still hanging out, they might try and bust out just to go see them, just for something to do. The other thing that this pasture is full of that they really didn't touch when it got mature was reed canary grass. And so I was also very happy to see that when it's young and green and obviously palatable to them now, that they were going after it. When you have such small strips, it's got to be 4,500 square feet. It's just less than 5,000. I know that twice a day is kind of what I'm setting them up with. But yeah, when you're running such small strips and trying to get them to eat everything, because again, we're not going to be out here again until fall. So number 3 here is getting kind of springy. So she's supposed to be 21 days, about 20 days behind number 2, who's due to calve any day now. But she's kind of looking like she's starting to put on a bag again, and her back end's looking pretty springy. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe you always did conceive early and come into heat early, so maybe you'll be having your baby sooner than 21 days. All right, guys, that's it for this one. I just wanted to show the cows eating some stuff they've never eaten before. It made me kind of excited. Questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, you know the drill, leave them down below. Find us on Instagram if you haven't yet, at WR_ranch. And I'm working on a website. I've been working on a website for the past couple months and finally starting to really dig into it. So stay tuned for that. I hope to get that out here in the next couple of weeks, but we'll have to see how the schedule goes. Busy time, calving. I got to get that field planted next door. We need a break in the rain. I never thought I'd say that, but I just need a quick break in the rain to get that stuff done. Oh, busy. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.